How can you use your tax refund to actually get a bigger refund? Interesting. I've got 2 tax planning ways to accomplish that very thing, coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. So, it's tax season right now. We're preparing a ton of taxes, but tax planning is more important than tax preparation. Tax preparation is required. Hey, you have to file a tax return by the deadline. It's got to be accurate. You got to be honest. That's it. However, that's important, right? Tax planning, though, identifying ways to improve your tax situation and take advantage of the ones that make sense for your overall financial plan so that you pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime. That really is the goal. The aim is not to get a huge tax refund, although, maybe that's your situation. The goal really is to pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime. So identify which tax opportunities are available to you and which ones are great and which ones, are just good and you should pass on. So sometimes that tax planning process leads us to using your refund to get a bigger tax refund. How is this possible? Yeah, I'll do that. Well, there's 2 ways to do this. And both of it just connects directly to tax planning. So the fact that you can get your return done by a certain date, but still fund tax shelters up until the tax filing deadline, this gives you the opportunity to look at your return before it's final and say, okay, wow, I'm getting a refund, or it's a little more than what I expected. What am I going to do with this $1,000 or $2,000? Is it going to the big screen? Is it going to, to the vacation? Or could I use this money to actually give myself an even bigger refund than what I'm looking at right now? Here's the example. Okay, so let's say you're getting your tax return done, you're sitting down with your CFP who's just had your CPA prepare the return, and they're delivering it, reviewing it with you, and identifying opportunities and talking through it before you sign it. And you look at it, and there's a $3,000 tax refund sitting there, and you guys talk about a way or purposes for that money, for connected to your overall financial plan. And your CFP tells you, so you've got this refund here, you're in the 22% tax bracket. Okay, you actually didn't fully fund your HSA last year. You could contribute an extra $3,000 into your HSA. Obviously, I'm making this up, but the sort of thing happens all the time. You could contribute an extra $3,000 to your HSA this year. And you've got up until April 15 to do that. So if I add in on your taxes right here, if I add in a $3,000 additional HSA contribution, instead of getting a $3,000 refund, your refund's approximately $4,000. So you say, yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's do that. So your CFP working with your CPA adds in that additional $3,000 HSA contribution that you promise you'll do by April 15. They add that in, you autograph it, and you file your return. 2.5, 3 weeks later, you now get the $4,000 refund instead of the $3,000. And of that $4,000 refund, you take $3,000 of it and put it into your HSA as a 2020 contribution for last year. Done. And you met your promise, and instead of getting a $3,000 refund and wondering what should I do with this, or maybe trying to use it for this next year's tax situation, you've used that $3,000 to create an even bigger tax refund than you otherwise would have had. Okay? So that's the first way to accomplish this. It's proactive tax planning. It's pausing. It's pausing between the getting your return done and actually filing it. And in that pause saying, how could I make this even better? What creative planning strategies are available to me that are consistent with the rest of my financial life and my financial goals? Because if that $3,000 should be going towards debt or should be going towards some other financial goal, you should not use that to get a bigger refund. But if it makes sense for your overall financial plan, capturing that idea. So that's the first way and the most obvious way. And guys, we are doing this all the time. I've got a meeting with someone, today's Friday. I've got a meeting with someone later today where we're doing that very thing. They owe $5,000 right now on their taxes. And a lot of that's because they're making a couple thousand more than they were supposed to, than they said they would for premium tax credits. All right, we're going to fund an IRA. We're going to fund an IRA. All of those premium tax credits will be allowed on their return, and they'll go from owing $5,000 to getting about $1,000 back. So it's unbelievable taking that pause between, okay, the return's done. All right, now what should I do about it? What can I do about it? All right, there's a second way. It's a little more complicated. There's a second way to turn your refund into a bigger refund. And how is that? If you are if you're doing proactive tax planning, you're doing a tax projection throughout the year, and you realize, yeah, you know what, based on our situation and how much we're withholding, we're getting a refund every year. We're getting a couple $1,000 or $2,000, or hey, how about a $3,000 refund based on that previous example? We're getting this $3,000 refund each and every year because, you know, we're working, we've got the kiddos, not a lot's changing in the short term in our situation. So should we leave everything the same, or should we adjust our withholdings so that instead of getting a $3,000 refund, we're getting close to break even? And what that means then is we have less withheld, therefore we have a bigger take-home pay. Our paychecks are bigger. Well, instead of taking that bigger amount home, what if you increase your 403B, your 401k, your simple IRA, your retirement savings? And therefore, you're taking, instead of having higher withholdings all throughout the year and then getting a big refund, you're taking those additional withholdings, not withholding them, but actually sending them into your 401k or your retirement plan through work. And because that now creates a deduction, instead of breaking even when you do your taxes, you'll get a $1,000 refund or something like that. You'll get a small refund because saving those dollars into that tax shelter actually reduces your tax, unless you do the Roth, okay? So that's a second way. It takes more careful planning, but it also takes the ability to look out ahead and say, yeah, your tax picture looks like this. It's looked the same last year, and we're sensing it's going to be the same for the next couple of years as well. Therefore, let's adjust withholdings and capture these dollars. I hope you're seeing the point here. The point is, going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, tax planning is where the value is. Tax preparation is important. You've got to get it done. It's required, okay? But tax planning, pausing and saying, all right, here's my situation. What tax opportunity, what's available for me to do to improve my tax situation? That's the important piece. Now, if you're an expert on taxes and understand very clearly all of your financial goals and where you fit, where you stand with them, great. Just pause before you file your return and ask yourself, what should I be doing? If that's not your strength, or you don't spend all day, every day analyzing the tax rules and analyzing your own financial situation, then that's the job of your certified financial planner. That's their job. Their job is to bring creativity to your situation, some ideas that maybe you didn't know existed, and say, you know what, based on this, here's your situation, based on what I'm seeing and the rest of your financial life, I would consider doing this, right? And a lot of times that involves taking what would be your tax refund and using it in a certain way to get an even bigger tax refund or improve your overall tax situation. If that's the help you need and you're not getting that, you want to work with a CFP who understands taxes. And that's what we have here. We've got a team of CFPs and a team of CPAs collaborating, working together. You can find us online, korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, or wisemoneyshow.com, or just give us a call. If that's the help you need, give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.